Yes. People, what's going on? It's Egal Talks Football. We are back again with another video. Today on Egal Talks Football, we're going to be talking about Cole Palmer winning all these awards, Player of the Month, winning England Player of the Year. We're going to talk about Cole Palmer. We also have to talk about Bukayo Saka having a great start to the season, being the best playmaker in the top 5 leagues so far this season. But unfortunately, he just got injured yesterday at Wembley. We have to speak about that. Also, while we're speaking about Cole Palmer and Saka, it's only right we speak about Phil Foden. Is he world class? Is he not world class? Is he even the best player at Man City? Or is he slightly overrated for the quality of player he is? He slightly gets overrated because he doesn't perform for England. He's not asked to be the main. We'll get into it. Because I got Hooks here, I got Patrick's here. I'm gonna have Vader in the building. We got enough Man City reps for today to talk about the Foden topic, because I know Man City fans don't like it when I don't have Man City reps on. We also got Ahmed, who's gonna come on. He's a Chelsea rep. He's gonna talk about Palmer, and we have to speak about Manchester United. Manchester United might be keeping Ten Hag. So what I did was I found the biggest Ten Hag out fan to speak to the people, to let them know what he thinks about that potential situation. And also, there's rumors of Thomas Tuchel potentially negotiating with an English club. Could it be Manchester United? We don't know. We'll have to wait and see. And Arsenal have an injury crisis. Could this be the end for Arsenal title hopes? If Bukayo Saka and Odegaard are injured for an extended period, this could be a serious problem. We have to wait and find out. But before we go any further, I'm going to add Ahmed in the building. Bridge Nation, how you doing?
I'm doing amazing, man. Wonderful. Hope you do well, man. Hope everyone in chat is doing well as well.
There you go. Ahmed's in the building. Next, we're going to have Hooks in the house. Hooks, an Arsenal fan, if you guys don't know. Hooks and Patrick are actually here because they got into an argument in my Twitter chat. And I was like, yo, you guys just better come on the channel and we'll hash this out live on the channel. So we'll talk about that in a bit. But before we go any further, we also have the man himself, Ahmed. Ahmed, he just disconnected as I was about to add him. What's going on? You guys know the other Ahmed, the Man United fan. He's going to be joining us in a bit. But I guess before we get into the Cole Palmer, before we get into the Sakas, before we get into everything else, can we just talk about the injuries? Because I don't know if you guys heard. Arsenal have 2 injuries right now that could kind of hurt our season a little bit. First of all, Bukayo Saka's injured. He got injured yesterday for England. And I know, Patrick, you're going to be thinking to yourself, you know what, Saka getting injured at this moment in time. Arsenal fans made fun of some Arsenal fans made fun of Rodri. You're like kind of karma. But the reality of the situation is we don't know the extent of Saka's injury. They still haven't given us all the information. It did look like a muscular injury and not a hamstring. So it could be something that could be resolved in a week's time with some rest. So they need to further analyze the situation. But there's also news today that Odegaard injury could take until December before he recovers. His rumored time for recovery was 8 to 10 weeks. Now they're saying it could be potentially 12 weeks, adding 2 more weeks to his time span. He was supposed to be back for the Liverpool game in a couple weeks' time. Now he could be back at earliest, they're saying December. So I don't know if that's Christmas December or early December, but they're saying December nonetheless. So that could be another 2 months before we see Martin Odegaard play in the Arsenal shirt again. And I just want to talk to everybody. Is Arsenal's injury situation, could this dampen our season on a real one? And I'll start with Hooks. Hooks, talk to me.
No, man. Like, firstly, yeah, the Odegaard thing, it's not really a setback because when he got injured last month, they literally came out and was like, it's going to take a few months for him to come back anyway. So, like, the timeline isn't really much different from what it originally was. So, it's not really that deep. I don't personally think that we need him versus Liverpool. Like, we've already gone to Man City away and Tottenham away without him. We'll find a way to survive Liverpool at home without Odegaard. So, to me, just let the brother relax, let him recover, and make sure that when he does come back, it's not oh, damn, he's got another niggle because we didn't let him rest properly. In terms of Saka,
Go ahead. My apologies.
In terms of Saka, I don't actually think that Saka's injury is that deep. Like, I think it's literally just a tweak, and I think when it happened, you could see him throughout the game trying to run it off, wasn't really working. he was holding his leg quite a bit, and he probably just went, you know what, I don't want to risk it. Let me come off, and then we see what I want. But I don't think Arsenal fans should be concerned. And even in the case where it's the worst case scenario for both, like we're saying we're up here. If we're up here, we should still be able to do what we want to do this season without Odegaard and Saka for a few weeks. So to me, it's not that deep in it, but I'm sure other people will have different opinions in it.
All right, what are you saying, Patrick? You're smiling.
Man, I am tired. I don't even want to listen to people. That's why I tweeted it. I don't know. I know Arsenal fans got triggered, which was my aim, because as I said, I've already seen how to trigger all fan bases except United now. You can't trigger them because they're lost. You can't do anything. The Saka thing is, rival fans, how many times have we? I'm not trying to say, oh, we're happy when somebody's injured, but let's be serious. Deep down inside, as fans, we're like, oh, we have an advantage here because so and so is injured for this short time. Saka doesn't get injured. Even Salah, there's more Salah and Saka. Don't waste your time. When you hear that Mo Salah is injured international duty, it's nothing. Within the next 2 matches, he's back on the pitch. So the reason why I don't believe that Saka is injured is I have seen it multiple times. That boy who cried wolf. It is what it is. We see him limp off the pitch. I know some people are touched when you say Saka limps off the pitch. I 100% will see Saka in the next match. I can put so much money on it that we'll see him in the next match, run in and still playing. Yes, he's going to limp if he drops a stinker, but I know Saka never gets injured. That's why I told Arsenal fans that he's not injured. If it's serious, we know what a serious injury is. I've seen it with KDB. I've seen it with Rodri. I've seen it with Fernandinho when it was very serious and it was out for a year. So that's the reason why I don't believe the Saka thing. The Odegaard thing, I think Hooks is right. You guys, I think, can manage without Odegaard, I'm telling you, and especially against Liverpool, who I think very soon are going to be exposed. If they play a half-decent team with a midfield, I think Liverpool actually struggle. I think you can still win games without Odegaard. I can actually see how you win them. Just defend, score your set pieces, you're grand. So for me, Gal, I know I was going back and forth with the Hooks, but even the guys in the panel, I'm pretty sure they'll tell you nobody believes it when Saka gets injured because the next match he plays, especially international. Okay, let me just ask this: how many international breaks have we heard that Saka is injured? How many?
Wait. So
many.
you guys think this is just fake?
It's Saka, man.
I don't think it's fake. I just don't think that it's as bad.
He's not injury prone, isn't it? Let's just say that he doesn't get injured.
Tweak, man.
He hasn't. I think the thing with Saka, he hasn't obviously gone injured yet. But like there is the pop. Listen, the worry of Saka is you don't want him to turn. You don't want a situation to end up like the Mason Mount situation where because he keeps on playing through stuff, he then his body eventually just gives up. Because that might happen the way if how consistently he plays for you guys and over the number of years he's already played for you. But like I think right now we don't know. Like, most of the time, I think Patrick is right in the sense that whenever he does usually look like he's injured in international, he does somehow he gets withdrawn and he usually comes back to play for you. Right now, again, we don't know if that's going to be the case right now. But if he is injured, like we go off that fact as of currently, I think it's going to be a big loss for Arsenal. I think he's probably your primary playmaker. You know what I mean? Essentially, right now, and losing someone like him is going to be a big loss. It's going to mean that you're going to have to hope now Sterling, for example, steps up to the plate. Obviously, Trossard, Martinelli, and Havertz. They've got to step up their game even more now. So if you guys can rely on them, that's what it's just going to come down to. I'm pretty sure you Arsenal fans would agree with that.
That's a good backup. So you Trossard, Raheem, that's good. Raheem is experienced.
So let me hear from Ahmed. Ahmed, what do you think about Arsenal's situation right now? Saka is potentially getting injured versus Greece yesterday, and we just heard that Odegaard's injury could extend until December. Do you think Arsenal are kind of in a tough situation right now?
I mean, to be honest, like with Arsenal, like you can say Saka is important to the team. That's cool, but at the end of the day, injured or not, I don't think it's going to be that big of a blow on how people are making out to be, because he's not like a star player like that you're going to be missing.
Who?
Do you get what I'm saying? Saka. He's not that star type of player where you're going to notice a huge difference in his game. Honestly, I'm being dead serious. Like with how Arsenal play, yeah, you guys don't really play like the free flowing attacking football, yeah. That you've not really been doing that this season. You've not.
One
like
second. Are you taking this as the opportunity to say we're going to manage without him, or are you making this a thing that's saying Saka's not that good?
No, you'll manage without him. Like I don't think he's. Of course, you've built a team around him, and he's going to be a miss. Like, do you get it? But what I'm saying is that Odegaard's been missing. Saka's now missed. Like you'll manage. That's what I'm saying. It won't be that big of a miss. Like for example, like Palmer. If Chelsea doesn't have Palmer, for instance, or if Liverpool don't have Van Dijk or Mo Salah, it's not that big of a like. It's not that type of level because you guys play good as a team. Like you don't rely on individuals.
Oh, I see where he's coming from. The
You
same
don't
way
have-
as KDB got injured at City and City still won the league.
I thought he was starting it off by making it a banter thing, like just making fun of Arsenal's players. But
You see, Arsenal fans. You also get insecure about Saka. That's what I'm saying. Saka is the trigger word for you guys.
Insecure about Foden.
I know. That's what I accepted. I'm telling you, the trigger word for City is Foden. The trigger word for Arsenal is Saka. It's simple. It is what it is.
I think we got to acknowledge Saka's one of the best creators right now in the top 5 leagues. What he's done for Arsenal, creating so much quality chances for us since Odegaard's been away. If we're missing both Odegaard and Saka for an extended period, it will definitely hurt us. We just don't know. We just don't know how.
I think Trossard can ball out for you guys. Trossard.
Yeah, but Trossard's only good off the bench, if I'm being honest. He's not really
I think Trossard's not really shown himself to be a star for Arsenal. He's a super sub for them. He works best as a super sub as of currently.
All right. Let me take you guys back to the summer. Somebody said that Arsenal get an injury to Odegaard or Saka or Saliba for any time period, their title race is over. Are we now showing that Arsenal are able to weather these storms? Because Hooks, we weathered it without Odegaard. Even if Saka's out for a couple games, we can beat Bournemouth without Saka. We could potentially go on to win a couple games without Saka. It's not the end of the world, but would you be worried about the title race as much as you would be a couple years ago?
I'm actually not worried. That's the thing. I'm actually not worried. But if we go back like maybe 4 or 5 years ago, and we're in a similar scenario, I would be very worried. So I guess that shows how much Arsenal have grown as like in terms of quality of the squad over the last few years. But honestly, like what brother man was saying, I kind of hear it. Like Arsenal's not really a team that relies on
individuals,
any given individual. So it's kind of been set up that way that anyone can really fill in, and anyone whoever comes in can play to the system. So I kind of hear it, and I do. If Saka doesn't play against Bournemouth, like Sterling can come in, and he's more than good enough to do something on the right hand side against.
I think the question becomes: I'll say this, yeah. Obviously, it also depends on your fixtures. Bournemouth, I think, obviously, you'll probably be able to beat Bournemouth without Saka and Odegaard. But who's after Bournemouth?
Any of them, bro? Honestly,
so who's the fixture after Bournemouth? I want to know because like
we've got.
Let me show you.
We've got Liverpool at home. We got Newcastle away, and then we've got I think Chelsea away. I don't fear none of them.
I mean, the next three, without Odegaard and Saka is going to be a bit tough. Let's be realistic, boys. It's going to be a bit. It is going to be a bit tough without having
the Bournemouth game. Shakhtar.
Yeah,
it's Liverpool at home.
If he's missing for the Newcastle one away,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like if he's missing for Liverpool, Newcastle, and Chelsea, it's going to be. I'll be real. It's going to be tough. Those fixtures will be tough. I think.
Yeah, but these guys will pack the bus. They can pack the bus and just get be difficult to.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Patrick knows, man.
Okay, like Odegaard is going to be out until December 3rd when we play Man United.
Hey.
Wait. Okay, you play us next year,
right? So Odegaard is going to be out until December 3rd. Versus Manchester United is going to probably be the first game he could be back, right? So he's going to miss West Ham away. He's going to miss Sporting away, Nottingham Forest at home, Chelsea, Inter, Newcastle, Liverpool. I'm not really worried about Saka right now because Saka, his injury, he could potentially be back versus Bournemouth and be on the bench. Like I wouldn't be surprised if Saka's back on the bench. I agree.
He's
with
going to
you.
play. He's going to just watch him play. He's going to play. I know that boy.
Yeah, so maybe injury crisis. I'm kind of overdoing it. It's not an injury crisis. I need to calm down.
Do you know what an injury crisis?
All right.
It is what
So we got there
Chelsea
in the
had
end.
last season. Chelsea
We
had
got
that
we got
last
there at
season.
the end. But let
Yeah.
me ask everybody: if Ten Hag stays, who would be happy in the stream?
Who would be what? Happy.
The rivals would all be happy for Ten Hag to stay.
Yeah,
That
obviously
just
they're
goes
going
to
to be
show,
happy.
Ahmed, you're 100% valid to be wanting your manager out. But just to let you know, the people who have the highest standards at Arsenal and want Arteta sacked say Ten Hag has achieved more than Arteta based on the last 2 seasons. And based on that metric, they think Manchester United are in a better situation than Arsenal.
Listen, let me tell you something, about Ten Hag. Yeah, he's awful, isn't it? Like, he's awful. But if you told me right now, would you swap him for Arteta, despite how much I banter Arsenal? I'm taking that straight away. Yeah, I'm taking it. He might have achieved more trophies. Cool, he's been more successful. But in terms of what team is in a better state and how much players have improved under a manager, Arteta is the one. If you want to play for a team that plays good football and progress as a player, because that's the whole target of a player, innit? Just to get better, play for a team, play for a manager that believes in you and gets the best out of you. You would rather be in that environment than United, that is pretty much toxic. A manager hasn't got Scooby, and it's very short term. And we get an FA Cup, and it's a 1-game buzz, and then for the rest of the season, it's back to shit. Do you get what I'm saying?
So what's the plan at Man United? Are they keeping him? Are they letting him go?
They're going to keep him. They're going to keep him, and I'll tell you the reason why they're going to keep him is
Why?
because I'll tell you right, because our owners has no balls. That's why they don't have the balls to sack him. Honestly, they don't have it.
Really?
They don't have the what did Troydini say? The cojones when he was cussing you a lot. They don't have the cojones, because if the ownership here is assessing this and they're looking at this team, right, that is sat 14th and is constantly getting battered by every team, week in, week out, and they've seen it last season and towards the end of last season as well, the first one, after the Carabao Cup, because we've been poor after the Carabao Cup. It's not like a 1-season thing. It's been happening for a lot longer than that. Then that means they don't have intentions to get rid of him, because if they wanted to get rid of him, they would have done it last summer. They would have done it ages ago, and they would have done it by now. You don't do an 8-hour meeting or a 2-week review, and like, you do all that for what? Just ending up keeping him. Like, it's the whole thing.
Have you lost faith in Ineos off the back of this?
I don't trust Ineos no more. I don't trust them with anything. I don't trust them with anything they do. Anything they say, it goes from one ear out the other. I do not trust a single thing they say, because these lot are politicians. They might have good intentions and what they want to try and do, but their whole approach is wrong. The whole approach is wrong. Because I think with them, they care about how they're perceived from fans rather than doing what's best for the club, and that's getting rid of a manager like Ten Hag and getting in a competent one. So I don't trust them in it. I don't trust them.
See, I'm confused. I'm confused, and I'm hoping that someone's able to help me with the confusion. So I don't understand why you want Ten Hag out when every single stream I go on, or any time I talk about football, not same with you, because this is obviously the first time we spoke, but every time I talk about football, I get told Arteta's whack because he hasn't won a trophy in nearly 5 years. Arsenal don't win trophies. Trophy. And Ten Hag has won 2 trophies in 2 years. So how can people in one breath say Arteta is dead because he doesn't win trophies, but then in the same breath say they want Ten Hag out, even though he's won 2 trophies back to back?
For me personally, I don't think Arteta is dead. So if you're talking about like the general consensus of the whole United fans and what they're saying, then that's fine, innit? You're always going to get people like that in the fans. But the reason why there is pressure on Arteta to win something big, because you're talking about trophies, you have to apply context to what trophies we're talking about. We're not just talking about any trophy with Arteta. We're talking about the Premier League or the Champions League. He's been given a lot of time. He's built the team. He's built the foundations. Cool, bro. But there's a certain time period where they have to win now. This whole comparison with Ten Hag and Arteta, like, it's just Twitter El Clasico. It's just Twitter El Clasico.
I think
team sacks people all the time. What do you think?
No, before I go to my team on the second thing, I think for me, I think the difference I would maybe argue that some people may make is that obviously Arteta's obviously he's had the time, he's actually worked at the time. It's like he's we're almost asking him. I know, and ironically, it's almost like it's time for you to finish the story. I know it's like crazy. I know it's like a wrestling like a gimmick thing, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean. But realistically, I think it really is just like we want you to finish the story now. Whereas I think with Ten Hag, yeah, he's won trophies along the way. But the reality is, and I've said this before, this is very similar to something I've said at Chelsea towards the end of the Abramovich reign, where we were kind of just meandering. You know what I mean? We were, particularly in the league, we were having this like decline where we were in around the top 4, but then we had that crash period. That's what's going on with United right now. And like the thing is, Ten Hag's also kind of like, you know, forgone his own philosophy after 2 games. Never gone back to that philosophy. You've brought in more players now, yeah, essentially to help him do said philosophy, and he's not willing to implement it as well. And I think the thing about United is, and I said this before, because they had Sir Alex Ferguson and they gave him time, and then they saw how many he was there for almost 2 decades and the fruits of the labor that they got. I feel like they just think you need to have you need to hire a manager for the long term. There's no, I don't really feel like, you know, a lot of these guys realize, you know, you kind of need these guys to have short-term targets that they can actually, you know, achieve, whilst also thinking about the medium to long term, which is, I think,
there's loads of managers you can get as well, bro. There's loads of managers you can get. I can listen.
Is that though? You know, because the thing is, Ahmed, you know, something I've said to you before, bro, is that in the summer, bro, you rejected some managers, you couldn't agree deals with certain managers, and some managers some managers, you know, you rejected yourself. And the problem becomes, like, let's say you go back to these guys again, you know, they're going to be like, why are you're going back to me now? You know what? Yeah, I feel like I'm in a better position now than last time because you need me now more than I need you. You know what I mean? I could be demanded more. So, and the thing is, if you guys are not willing to accept that, then, you're kind of stuck with Ten Hag in a sense.
Welcome, Vader. Big up everyone in the chat.
Wow, this guy, man.
Do me a favor, guys. We are 30 subscribers away from hitting 30K. Please do me a favor. Take a second out of your time. Hit that subscribe button. And while you're here, it helps the channel out massively. Hit that like button. I'm going to try to make sure I get everyone's channels and I put it in the description before the end of the video. Guys, do me a favor. Send me the links to your channels. And I'll probably go on all your Twitters to go find it maybe. But I already know half of you. I just need Ahmed and Hooks. I already know Patrick.
Which Ahmed?
United Ahmed. Okay. And then my man here says Arteta is doing what Klopp did at Liverpool, always being bridesmaid, never the bride. Him losing the league in the manner he lost is shocking. We've already spoke about this. These guys went and did 4 in a row. They did a treble. Like you can say whatever you want, but
do you know? I want to say something about
the way we lost the league last year was not embarrassing at all. It was literally
it was good, man. You took it on the chin. Now, you know what I want to say about Arteta? It's the fact that,
like, I'm not coming in second, but
I know. Look, I don't care about him coming second. Him coming second and so close to Pep. I give him appreciation. I say hats off for the fact that he almost won it on the last day. The only issue I have with Arteta is your team recently has been so good that those trophies that Ten Hag is winning, they had to go to you guys. If they didn't go to City, they had to go to you guys. That's why I was hoping that, okay, you've lost the Premier League, but at least the FA Cup, at least the Carabao Cup, That's I think if you got one of those during the time when you were losing, I don't think a lot of people say a lot of stuff. I think a lot of people just use this thing, or he bought the league. But come on, he went to the last day, and I was impressed by what he did.
Let me ask everyone: did you guys watch the video on Footy Judge Mo on Husam's channel, MHF? Where they're with Lee Gunner and Northside? They're basically speaking about standards, and they're like, these guys are like, would you rather win a Champions League league title or win 5 domestic trophies in a row? And Lee Gunner's like, I'd rather pick 5 because I think 5 is bigger than more than 2. And I'm like, you have to look at the weight of the trophies. You can't.
Depends what team you're supporting as well, because
5 one after the other. That's an achievement.
Would you rather win what Arsenal did, win 4 FA Cups in the time span that we did, or you look at Leicester, they won a league and an FA Cup? I'd rather have the league and FA Cup.
I don't know, just achieving something back to back is not
easy.
Look at Chelsea. They won the league and Champions League in the same span where we won 4 FA Cups. I'd
Back to
rather have
back.
what they have.
Do you know what? It's absolute BS because I guarantee you, yeah, if Arsenal won the Carabao Cup, yeah, 5 times in a row, man are gonna be complaining. But what about the Premier League? What about the Champions? Oh, we haven't won the Champions League. So it's like, but that's BS, man. Like
You just become more energy drink FC because you know what I mean. Only
We won the Carabao Cup. We won the Carabao Cup over and over.
Liverpool won the Champions League twice, and we still bantered them for not winning the league for 30
Do you know
years.
what? Do you know what it is? Yeah, I always say, you know, particularly with a Carabao Cup, for example, that should be the thing that pushes you on to win the EPL. If you're like, in particularly, you feel like a team that's competing for the league, that's what it's meant to really be doing. If you win the Carabao Cup, in my honest opinion. But what I would say is that I think winning the Premier League and the Champions League, I think particularly in this day and age, compared to maybe 10 years ago, 15 years ago, I think there's a lot. The prestige level now between the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup and the Champions League and the Premier League is now a lot bigger. The gap is way bigger in my personal opinion. That's why for me, I would prefer to win a Premier League or what's it called, or a Champions League once or twice over 5 times in a row winning an FA Cup, because it's like, I've won FA Cup.
But you have to respect that. If somebody has done it, you have to respect it, isn't it?
You can respect it, but I don't think it holds the same level of respect realistically as winning, a Champions League or a Premier League, in my personal opinion.
By the way, let's just end off the Ten Hag era and section of this video.
Man, say the Ten Hag era.
Ahmed, what is your message to your fan base? Because you have a strict message to your fan base about Ten Hag.
Yeah, the reason why he's still here is that this fan base has allowed him to stay, because they just want him to stay in it because the standards are so low in it. The standards are so low, and year after year post Fergie, we've gone worse, and the standards has got lower and lower and lower to the point, where they're just attached to this manager. So any bad he does here will get overlooked. Do you get it? Like I'm pretty sure. I'm not joking when I say this. He is the worst. He's the worst coach post Ferguson. He's the worst one. Honestly, he's the worst one. He is the worst one.
It's an Oli.
Even Moyes? What's the Ollie's Moyes?
I don't count David Moyes. The worst 2 managers post Fergie is Ollie and Ten Hag.
What about Van Gaal?
Van Gaal was the best.
Why do you count Moyes actually? Why do you count Moyes?
Oli was balling though. Oli was balling.
I think Oli was the best.
No, Van Gaal.
If we count, I think Oli was good. Was actually good. Wasn't Oli second a few times?
He wasn't.
Oli came second once, and they got them to Europa League final. They lost to Villarreal.
You know what someone told me? Someone told me Ten Hag has the worst. No, it was Culture Cam. He tweeted this. He's like, Ten Hag has the worst traits of all the post Sir Alex Ferguson managers.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he broke records.
It's toxic as Jose. It's as bad football as Oli. It's such a mess like Van Gaal at the situation, but they're still winning trophies. And then what's the other one? David Moyes. The guy just doesn't know how to run the club.
No, Oli was not bad football. Oli had an identity.
No, he didn't.
Counter-attack.
He did.
Come on, counter-attack.
Ollie's football was a mess.
Ollie's football was awful. The best one post Fergie was Van Gaal, bro. He was the last real coach that we had at this club that actually.
So
had
who do you want? Do you want Tuchel?
No, I don't want Tuchel. There's a few managers I want. I would take the Tottenham manager. I would take Ange. Yes, I would take him.
Would Ange leave Spurs to come to you?
Bro,
I'll be honest, man. At this point, he might, afterwards.
I'll be honest. If United are serious, this is what they do. If United are serious, they sack this guy, give it to Ruud till the end of the season, go get Ange and free him from the shackles from Tottenham, and then we steal their manager. Because you know why I want Ange? He's got a good mix of everything. His personality is good. His style of play is good.
He has charisma.
He has charisma.
His personality is absolutely garbage, man.
No, it's not.
Bro, every time he doesn't get a result, or he loses,
but every manager's like that.
No. Because when my manager loses,
your manager is arrogant as well. So what are you talking about?
He's looking into the camera.
He's looking into the camera.
Your manager is salty. Your manager is salty when he loses. Very salty guy.
He's looking in the camera, bro. Like
your manager ain't all that when it comes to personality.
And I'm saying, man, you're looking to my eye thing, bro.
Let's chill with the no diddies,
So you actually really want a manager who's unable to adapt in a game. and
This
only
whole
knows one way
adapting
of
thing,
playing.
by the way, this whole adapting thing, like I think we're just throwing buzzwords here, by the way. Adapting and flipping, like that makes no sense. He can adapt. He can adapt.
Show me
Nah,
evidence.
he can't. He can't. He can't.
Show me evidence.
He
Show me evidence.
highline or die. That's how it is.
Highlight
Highline
or
or die.
But hold on a minute.
I'm not gonna lie. I would love to see the top Reds take a Tottenham manager and bring him to your club, because there's a large portion of them that didn't want Pochettino for that reason. They're like, he's a loser.
Pochettino's football has regressed, by the way, ever since he left Tottenham. It's regressed. It's gone worse. The reason why I want Ange, look, last season, I wanted Hansi Flick, and obviously he's not available, and I would have taken De Zerbi as well. Now I would take Ange. I would even take what's his face? What's his name? I don't know what his name is. Oh my!
I bet you're about to say Frank from Brentford.
Guys, let's end off this section
I
by
would
just
take some
asking
Frank.
Vader if he wants to say something on this before we move on, because Vader hasn't said a word yet.
He believes in Ten Hag.
Wait, what?
You
Vader
believe in
believes in
Ten Hag?
Asking a City fan, does he believe in Ten Hag? What kind of question is that?
No, but Vader believes in Ten Hag. I know Vader's like back in Ten Hag.
Yeah, but he's trolling, man. He's trolling. He's trolling.
No, I don't. There's one thing that if there's one thing that I don't do, it's troll. I don't troll.
You said
But
that in a
if you're-
troll way, but anyway.
You can say something in a trolling way. No. Listen, I don't back Ten Hag, but I do back Ineos. I do back Ineos. So when I was saying give Ineos time, let them do their process, that's where I was coming from, because they were making the footballing decisions, not the Glazers. So let them do their thing. But with regards to Erik Ten Hag, I think he's done so much, despite the comparison when they were trying to say, oh, he's the best first year manager compared to what Klopp and Pep did because he won a trophy. All that hoorah from United fans, all that we got the right manager, that's dead now. They've all changed their tune again. And it's like a repeat episode. We saw it with Ollie. We saw it with Jose. We saw it with all the managers that Ahmed talked about. So, hey, it's the latest word with Erik Ten Hag. It's the latest. You like him for what, 6, 8, 18 months? And then you don't like him anymore. All managers.
I'm confused because you're providing no context to what you're saying. You're saying, oh, it's the same thing with managers.
It is the same thing. I don't need
to
provide
because
context.
you're not providing any context to it. You do realize
context is needed. You
hated
every manager since Sir Alex Ferguson.
No. I backed Van Gaal. I backed him. The three managers that I didn't back here fully is Ollie and Ten Hag and Mourinho towards the end. I don't back them in it. When I see cracks here, I'm out. But the only one that I believed in, and I never wanted Ollie to get the job in the first place. So I don't know if you're talking about United as like the general fan base and what they wanted, but everyone, we all wanted Ten Hag. Let's just say that, we all wanted him. We all wanted him at the beginning. However, things happen, circumstances happen during the season. Now, if you were to tell me that he's going to come in and he's going to abandon everything that he did at Ajax, keep him away. But I said I want him, with the intention that he was going to play the same football at Ajax, but he didn't do that. So of course I'm not going to back it. So you can't really use the argument, oh, they like him, because it's justified why we don't like him, because he's gone everything. He's gone past his principles. He's not doing what he's supposed to do.
You're United and you wanted trophies. He gave you trophies and he gave you.
But that's just a narrow. That's a narrow way of looking at football.
It's not narrow. When you say you all liked him early on, you liked him.
As a Premier League fan, what's your bread and butter?
What's my bread and butter?
What's your bread and butter in it? Like, what's your bread and butter?
Winning.
No, but as a Prem fan, what's the trophy that you want to win the most?
I want to win all trophies. I want to win all trophies.
Not just
as a Premier League fan,
that's why we started winning the League Cup first. We wanted to start the winning. We want to build off something, right? So it's about winning. Now, you guys have the winning, but it's still not enough. You're United. You're mighty United. We get it. You want to progress. You want to win trophies. You want to challenge the Champions League. No, you want it all. You're United. I get it. You want it all, and you haven't been getting all of it since Sir Alex Ferguson. So it's funny how after Sir Alex Ferguson, you heard about Moyes, worst since Sir Alex Ferguson, and then after Moyes, you heard about worst with Van Gaal since Sir Alex Ferguson, and then after that, you heard worst since Jose, worse since Ollie, and now it's worse since Erik Ten Hag. You've always progressed down, worst ever.
You were actually achieving with Van Gaal, though. He was the only guy. We were achieving with him.
Wait, were you achieving with Van Gaal for real?
We were achieving with Van Gaal, and then what?
Yes, he had the right. He had the right idea, 100%. He knew what he was doing, because with Van Gaal,
is that why he got fired after the FA Cup?
It's not about that. Like you're looking at things like really, bro. He only got fired because he didn't get Champions League and he missed out on goal difference to your team. We me, City and United got the same points in that season. The day he got sacked. It was just.
But this is the point. This is the point. Look at what your standards were to fire him, even though quote unquote he was cooking.
That's why I said our standards has gone worse. I said this. Yeah, it's gone worse each season.
But because at the same time your standards were unrealistic when you got rid of him the first time.
Hence why I wanted him to stay.
No, I know you, but your fan base. Listen,
yeah, but like we're talking.
No,
I know where I come from.
All right, guys,
that's
but let me. I'm gonna make one more point quickly, yeah. But like again, this is the issue I have with this. With what they're saying. If you are the board, yeah, at some point, bro, you need to stop listening to fan pressure and actually just focus on your game.
Ahmed, they are Chelsea. Ahmed, the board have stopped listening.
Mm-hmm.
So, and all these fans are crying their eyes out because they want Erik ten Hag gone. They're not listening to you guys anymore. So they're gonna vet and see whoever's next. They're gonna take their time with it. Ready, go, and then
this guy is trolling.
But they're not listening to.
I said at the beginning he's trolling. Like you can tell, isn't it? Like,
I beg you, let me just stop you guys right now because I want to move on the topic. I feel like we spent enough time on Man United. Quickly, before we speak about any other club, there's no Liverpool rep on today, so we're not really going to spend too much time on Liverpool. Just to let everybody know, we're not going to speak about Newcastle. We're not going to speak about everything else right now. We're going to go straight into Man City and the trending topic. Guys, there's two guys who are really, really, really trending on a regular basis. Ahmed's boy, Cole Palmer, Man City Academy graduate, and not only Cole Palmer, but Phil Foden. And for two completely different things at this moment in time. Cole Palmer, for the last 48 hours, has been getting bigged up and has been getting love from EA, Player of the Season for the Premier League. Player of the Week for the month for the Premier League. You got Young Player of the Season, PFA Young Player of the Season, England Player of the Year. Absolutely killing it. Now let's go to Phil Foden. Phil Foden has been he got Player of the Season. If I'm not mistaken, he got PFA Player of the Season. But his performances post Euros has gotten people really criticizing him right now. And I don't know if you think it's harsh, but people are questioning, is Phil Foden going through something that we don't know? City fans, you guys are here. It's your time to cover it for him and speak up and tell us what's really going on with Phil Foden. Because the real Phil Foden hasn't stepped up once this season yet. And people, you might be shocked, but the performance yesterday for England had people thinking that Phil Foden doesn't even have a place in the starting 11.
I would love
also that. Had people questioning, is Phil Foden even world class? Because people keep talking about Cole Palmer being on the cusp. People keep talking about Saka and Cole Palmer being on the cusp. But if they're on the cusp, what makes Phil Foden better than them if he's not performing better than them in the same international team? If he's not showing the same level of consistency going into this season, is there an injury? Is there some mysterious problem? Patrick, Vader, let us know, because I genuinely don't know what's happened to him this season.
You know what? Let me start off with this. I think I heard. Obviously, I know there's been some personal issues with him. I think someone was talking about one of his kids.
Yeah.
I think that's the issue he has personally, and I think that's why Pep was sort of keeping him away. But what I want to tell people is, and I've said this to many people, I even said at the beginning of the video, if you're not trigger Arsenal fans, just name drop Saka. If you want to trigger City fans, name drop Foden. But the thing is, you guys should be asking yourself this as fans: why do we talk about Foden? Why do we talk about Palmer right now? Okay, Palmer right now, not before. Why do we talk about Foden, Saka, and Palmer? These guys are ballers. Whether we like it or not, they're ballers. When I go on Twitter and start shitting on Saka, deep down inside, as a human being, if I were to admit, I know I'm shitting on a baller. But I just want to make sure that if you guys are aiming at my guy, I'll aim at your guy. That's simple. That's all it is. Now let me talk about Palmer. I'll talk about Foden and Saka after this, but I want to talk about Palmer. Palmer is balling, but you know yourself, Gao and Hooks, and even the two guys with me at my left-hand side. It's called new toy syndrome. Palmer right now is the new shiny toy. We had Rashford. I remember when you talk shit about Rashford. oh my God, United fans used to go to your inbox and make sure you delete that tweet you put out. I remember when even Saka was fresh, when he was also the new toy out. Same thing, Foden, when he was a new toy, nobody would allow you to say anything about him. So Palmer is doing good, but trust me, these two guys, Saka and Foden, they have been doing so well for so long. Yes, right now Foden is not doing well for just the 6 matches he's played, and he hasn't played a lot. He hasn't actually played full matches yet. But very soon, when the dust settles, it is still going to go back to the same guys, Foden, Saka, when they start showing up and showing class. Right now, big up to Saka, top assister. I didn't know that, but for me, when it comes to these players, all I know is we're hating on ballers. Nobody can sit on this panel and say these three are not ballers. When Palmer left
You know
City,
what? The thing is,
Yeah.
I don't question that he's a baller, but all I said is, can you call him world class? If you
Oh
think
no,
that
but that's the thing. You're only saying that because for England he doesn't show out how it is or how good he is. But you've seen him. I'm pretty sure you've seen Foden at his best for the club. So you're telling me that just, okay, for England it doesn't work out. I have seen ballers before. I don't know if you guys how long you've been watching football. I've seen ballers who are balling in club and you're like the go to international. You're like, what's happening to this guy? This guy is supposed to be one of the best. The only thing I see, especially for Saka, which I give him respect, I've always said it and people get annoyed. Saka is not a guy who you sit down and discuss him as, oh, Saka is a baller. He's not pretty on the ball. He's not that pretty on the ball, but Saka is effective. And when you have effective players like Saka, they can go anywhere and they'll just be effective. And that's what I even appreciate and admire about him. Because Saka is just effective. It's just a utility man. He'll do what it is. He'll perform how it is, and that's what he's done with. People like Palmer and Foden are people who look good on the ball, but when form goes out of the window or they stink in a certain system, oh, they will show that they'll stink. Because when they try to do their 1-2s, I remember I was watching a game where Foden was trying to do 1-2s with Jude, and somehow Jude, because I told people Jude is not as technical as you people bring him out to be. Dude is just Jude. He's just a guy with too much confidence.
one second, bro, you
Yeah.
kind of lost me. Let me hear from Vader, and then we'll come
No,
back.
no. Let me just finish this. I'm just trying to say Foden. I'm saying this 100%, and maybe I might be wrong because he's young. I have a feeling because of the type of player he is, I don't think he'll ever look good for England. But do we take that as a stick to hit him against that, or he's not
Yes.
that good?
Yes,
Do we?
do.
Yes.
We-
Nah, you
One-
don't.
One second,
we
Ahmed.
do.
Both Ahmeds and Hooks, as guys who don't support City and have no emotional attachment to him, do you feel like he doesn't get the same level of criticism as a Saka or Rooney did in the past, or
I don't even think
or
Saka gets
Beckham?
the-
Like, does he get that criticism because he's not performing in tournaments and
Bro.
he's one of the best players? You have Wayne Rooney coming out saying at his best, Phil Foden is the best English player in the world, but he's not performing like it.
I feel like for me, when it comes to Foden, yeah, I don't know. Is it like a transition thing where, you know, maybe at Man City, because it's a system thing, it works him really well. The manager understands him, knows how to make him work. Like it's much more of a comfortable environment. Whereas when it comes to England, right, there's other players that can do what he can do in similar positions, and like he's almost a lot more harder for him to find somewhere to actually plug and play into. I think that's what it just comes down to, for me personally. And if he's not really like maybe the star man, I don't think he can be as effective maybe for England, like, you know, as he might be for Man City. I think that might just be what it comes down to. Because like when you got other stars in the team, like whether we like them or not, Bellingham, Kane, you got Saka, you got Palmer, you've got, you know, who else am I not thinking about? Maybe whoever else I'm not thinking about, right? There's so many stars and other guys, right? That this becomes a question of like, where do you make him fit? You know, how can he? You got to choose one guy to be the star, and if he's not going to be Foden, he's probably going to sacrifice his game to make it work. And that's me being a bit kind maybe to Foden. But another argument, like I know, obviously Vader doesn't like this argument because I've said this before. Maybe this comes down to the fact, sadly, he's just a system player. You know what I mean? Maybe this is maybe you know what I mean. That could be also the other argument. You know what I mean? I know that's not the not nice argument, but sometimes that might also it might come down to maybe you know what I mean. It might
I
just
agree.
be, you know,
No,
something. It might just.
I'll have to agree with you. I'll have to agree with you. I think the whole Palmer's playing incredibly well. He should be trending. He should be talked about. He's having his moment 100%. Would he have had that had he stayed at City? I highly doubt it. I don't think he would have. I don't think he would have gotten a minute. I don't think he would have gotten that freedom that's allowed him to do what he's doing. Now, everyone's going to take their shots at Foden because of how good he's been, because of how many years he's been doing it as well. He broke out on the scene and he was competing in the Prem and in Champions League and being impactful, being important to it. So that's what I want to point out. Now, Ahmed,
by the way, Veta, do you remember when he called out Mbappe? Somebody just in the comment. Foden called out Mbappe and people laughed at Foden, and Foden actually dunked on Mbappe in the semis. Yeah.
What do you mean? 100%. He deleted that and then sacked the representative.
I know, but I'm saying after he called out, obviously somebody wrote it, but for him to still say, okay, after it's deleted, to still go into the match and actually outshine Mbappe at a point where everybody was like this, even Neymar was like this. It was just he is a baller. Anyway, go on.
Okay, 1 second. He's the baller for England, but for for Man City, but England, where you don't have Haaland, you don't have Rodri, you don't have Kevin De Bruyne, you don't
never
have
had Haaland before though.
You don't have 2021-2022 season Gundogan, where he's scoring the winner in almost every other game. Let's be honest. When was Phil Foden ever your best player?
Last season.
I'll be honest.
Rodri was your best player.
Come on, man. I'm telling you, Rodri did what he had to do, but
does anyone not agree?
Foden carried.
Rodri was City's best player last year. When
Foden carried the team.
Drop off.
Yeah, Foden did. The thing is with Foden, I think he's a very, very, very good footballer in it. However, world class. I think with Foden to be world class, he needs to do what Palmer does to that Chelsea. I'm not saying Palmer is world class now. Obviously, he can be, and he's on the cusp of being world class. Palmer, it's obvious. But what I'm saying with Foden, he has to be like, I'm the guy now. I'm gonna take the shackles. I mean, I'm gonna take this team by the scruff of the neck, and I'm gonna make us win no matter what. He has to. I think he's too reliant on the manager and the players
did that last season, guys.
Which isn't a bad thing, because obviously he's used to playing for Pep Guardiola. He's used to playing for City. He's used to that, but what he did last season, if he was to do that on a consistent basis, for the next 2 seasons, then you can say he's world class, 100%.
Yeah, I agree with you, and I pushed him. I think I wrote a tweet and I said, Foden, right now KDB is gone. Gundogan has gone to Barcelona. It's time to show up, and he did show up. But you know the issue at City. I'm going to tell this also. Chelsea fans have to understand this. The funny thing is, when we offered Chelsea Palmer, I was telling people that you're getting a baller. Issue with Pep Guardiola. Do you know what the guy Pep Guardiola said about Foden? Same thing he said about Palmer. Pep Guardiola is a control guy, because you know what he said? He's like, this kid is too loose and wild. And that's when Foden used to come at games. I'm telling you, Foden used to come into games and take the ball, dribble past people, and I'm like, wow, this kid is incredible. Guess what? This man used to bench him and say, what is he saying now, Gaveta? Oh, he needs to slow down. He needs to calm down. I'm telling you.
Taking the flare out of his game.
That's what I'm saying.
Again, but that's something that I've said to Veta before. I told Veta before, Man City is the engine.
I know. Palmer is lucky to go to Chelsea.
You know what I mean? That's the problem, bro.
Do you remember Jesus? Do you know Jesus came to Man City? When Jesus came to Man City, the kid was playing Brazilian football. Do you know what Pep said? He's too excited. Within a few months, Jesus was done.
Yo,
I don't. It's just this guy, man. I don't know.
So before we go any further, let me just read this super chat. Big up, Egal. You could have had 30K a long time ago if you didn't go and do the Arsenal Real Madrid combined.
That's a classic.
and then you got this guy saying Wasteman England has no world-class players. I fully disagree. I think Harry Kane, even though he never won a trophy, he's world-class. I think you could say Jude Bellingham had a world-class season. Foden had a world-class season. Saka had world-class performances. I think those guys are on the cusp. Who else is there? I don't think Palmer yet. You need to give him more time. Who else is there? Guys, how many world-class players are in England?
Can I ask you something, Edgar? What if Palmer carries Chelsea again and then gets them maybe number 2, number 3 this season? Like, because of his goals, he gets them so close to the top. What do you say? And it's Palmer again. So what do you say for the second season? What do you say?
By the way, from the 3 of them, Cole Palmer, Saka, and Foden. Are none of them world class, or all of them world class for you guys? Because I'm confused.
I don't think they are yet. I don't think
None of them are world class currently.
Wait, just
wow.
a question, Patrick. Yeah, because you say, oh, if if Palmer does what he did last season and carries Chelsea or to second, bro, do you realize that Saka's been doing that for the
Well,
last
has he
3
though?
or 4
Has
years?
he though? Has he?
What?
He
Are
has
you
not.
mad?
Wow.
Carried what? Carried what exactly?
What?
I always,
Carried
you know
what?
what my issue, you know what my issue is, Hooks. Yeah,
What's
before
he
we get
carried?
into this argument, I think this argument for the world class. I don't include this argument for world class. By the way, like he's carried teams to second or third place. Someone
I
that
don't
is
care
world
about. I don't
class.
care about the world class
Yeah.
argument.
So for me, the world class argument, I just want to make it clear. It has to include trophies. That's why I always say
Thank
if you're
you.
world
Thank
class,
you.
yeah, it has to include trophies.
That's why I don't rate Harry Kane. That's why I don't rate Harry Kane. I don't
Yeah.
rate him.
Like,
Was Haaland not world class before he joined your club?
Yeah, but he gave Dortmund a trophy though. You know that, right? They won a trophy with him. Remember?
So Saka won FA Cup.
Okay, look, this is what I want to say. I think no. This is what I want to say. I've always told people that's why Harry Kane, I don't rate him at all as a world class player. And somebody said he's a West man, and he was right. I think it was on one of the channels. Is consistently world class players will carry the team over and over. You will point them out that they won the trophy again because of so and so. But these three players, I think they can do
but
it.
you call Kevin De Bruyne.
Okay,
world
you
class,
know
but he
what
never
this
turns
is?
up in the
This
games.
is the time. where all
Kevin
six
De
of us-
Bruyne used to carry us,
Once
man.
again,
Don't
This
talk
is,
about
this
the
is
Finnish
the time where all
KDB.
six of us. This is the time where all six of us have to basically give our criteria for how we determine a player's world class. For me, it's not black and white, but depending on your position, you have to be like undoubtedly one of the top players in your position. Not number 1 and 2, but at least like top 3 or 4 or 5. So, for example, if you're a midfielder, obviously there's like many different types of midfielders.
So you have to get into any team in the world.
Like a top 3 DM, top 3 central midfielder, top 3 cam. If you're a winger, right winger, like top 3 right winger, top 3 left winger, striker. I used to do top 5, but now it's literally there's not too many good strikers. So maybe top 3 center back. I can add a couple more, so maybe like top 5 center backs, since there's like 2 different types of center backs, left, right, all that, and then right wing and left back and right back. I kind of put them together. I'm like, there's really not too many world class left backs and right backs. I just kind of put them in their own category, and I classify them as like fullbacks, whoever is the most, who's world class in that position. So if what I'm saying to you makes sense. You basically can't have there can't be 3 world 11s which you miss out on, or else you're not world class, in my opinion.
So can I ask you something? Do you know Son, when he was in his prime, was he world class? Son
was a world class finisher, but there was always better players than him in his position. Neymar was better than him. There was other players in that position that were always better than him.
I just think when you have been put in this top whatever, you have to mean something.
Neymar, Mane. Let's be honest. There was always somebody better than him in that position.
Who?
Son was cold. Son was cold.
Son's not world class.
Yeah, he's not. But during his prime, he was cold. He was colder than
Guys,
he was a very
Vader
good.
hasn't said a single word. Let's hear from Vader.
Yeah, go on, Vader. Go on.
Vader, go ahead, Vader.
I don't know where to really chime in, because when we were first talking about the whole phone thing, I'll concede. I'll say he's not world class. I got no problem with that. I got no problem with Pep having to use players that aren't considered world class, with the exception of maybe KDB and Haaland. That's no problem.
Rodri, don't forget Rodri.
Yeah, Rodri as well, Ballon d'Or nominee. So I have no problem with.
Yeah.
No, I'm gonna calm down. I don't want to overinflate with the world class players with what rivals do. But when we want to talk about Foden, if you want to say that he's a system player, I'll agree with you. I think you get, like Patrick was just mentioning, we've had players with the flair, with the talent, with the skill set, but in the City system, he's not going to be able to express that. He's not going to be able to play like that. And this might come across wrongly, but we've all had experiences when we've been around like-minded people just as people that geek out just as much as us, so we can vibe off and know and stay in the conversation. Or if you're a musician, you're playing with other well-skilled musicians, you can keep things going. I think when Foden, with the skill set, the ability that he has, goes to the England squad, he's not playing with good players in terms of the system, in terms of how to play the game. I think there's a lot of, I don't want to call anyone dumb. I think it's just the different systems on how they approach the game, and they don't play it the way he's accustomed to at City. Whether you want to call it tiki-taka, overly aggressive, always possession. I don't think he gels well in that system. So, yes, call him a system player, but I think it's because he's been spoiled over at City with everybody being on the same page. Now, if he doesn't play another minute for England, I'm happy. Igal, you just saw your man limp off because of injury. I could care less about these international games. I could care less about them playing every Prem game because we've all said it. Your former manager, Arsene Wenger, said there's too many games. They're trying to get every game possible out of these players. And if they have to play international as well, I'm cool. Bench them. Say Foden's not good for this 11 because I'll have him for the Prem. I'll have him for Champions League. So I invite more conversations like these, Igal, to say Foden isn't that guy. Drop him from England.
But he needs to step up a bit, isn't it? Look for me.
Internationally, he doesn't need to step up.
He needs to step up for England, though, doesn't he? He needs to play.
All right, guys. I was gonna save this for a second, but how about this? Let's do it this way: bench, sit, and start, sit, and sell.
Start Saka,
Palmer, and you have to thoroughly explain.
Is it true?
1 second. You have to thoroughly explain why you're putting each one in each situation. For example, if I go first, I would say, obviously, I'm an Arsenal fan. I'm gonna back my guy, Bukayo Saka. He's been one of the best creators so far this season, and he's been doing it for several seasons. I'm gonna start Bukayo Saka. Same. I think Cole Palmer strives in chaos and he can adjust to any system. And him coming off the bench, he's shown he's a threat for England. I'm going to start him. And I'm going to bench Foden simply because I don't know how he would do outside of the Man City system. I don't know how he's going to perform. So I personally would bench him. I don't think that's...
Are you basing this on England or in general if you're a coach?
I'm looking at it from a perspective of any team. You guys can look at whichever way you want to look at it. But Ahmed, what would you do? You didn't get much time to speak about your boy Palmer either. So take this time to speak about him.
Yeah, listen, big up to my guy Palmer. I'm happy for him. Long may he continue. But listen, just as I like to speak highly about Palmer, we need to also speak about the guys that are around him that are enabling him to do what he's able to do. Whether it be, obviously Madueke on the right, Jackson up front. There's a reason why he's able to thrive because the guys that are around him are also allowing him, to have that pressure of him to play the game that he needs to play in. So I want to also give those guys credit as well. In regards to Palmer, though, amazing player. I'm a big fan of his, as many of you guys know. Hopefully, he can continue this performance, continue this form because we need it from him, and as well as the other guys. But for me, Palmer Nation, I would say, probably start Palmer only because I'm a bit biased. I would say probably so that's just me being slightly biased. And then I would say bench Saka, and then as of currently Foden is the one that will be sold in my personal opinion.
Foden's going to be the one that's sold. Okay. And what do you think? But 1 second before we move on to Hooks, do you think people are unfairly criticizing Cole Palmer for winning England Player of the Year because their case is the guy hasn't really started many games for England?
Is that really his fault though? He shouldn't have won it. No, but listen. At the end of the day, English best player. Well, the best English player in the world is considered A in regards to what he was doing. A in the league, the numbers he got, the numbers are probably the best out of any Englishman. If we're being honest, right?
I think it's hype. I think it's just new toy hype.
And also, I don't think it's new toy hype either. Palmer's not been here for a year now. He's not getting any newer. You know what I mean? If that makes sense. He's not a new toy anymore. So
he wasn't better than Bellingham, and he's definitely a new toy.
I would disagree with that. I think Bellingham had a really hot start. Bellingham had a really hot start.
Bellingham
had a really hot start.
Did not contribute to even the Champions League.
Bellingham had a really hot start.
But he had the stinky Euros.
He won Player of the Season.
Bellingham had a really hot start. Last season, but he petered out in the middle and the end.
You might not consider the arguments.
No.
You might not actually not consistent in your arguments. So it's
My argument's consistent. I said to you, Bellingham had a really hot start, but then what happened with him was in the middle to the end of the season, he kind of like hit a baseline where he was just average. He wasn't as good as the heights
He was poor.
at the end of the season.
You also
Yeah,
say to
let's
me
be real.
you can't be world class until you win trophies. Because
But
you
I
said-
didn't say. But again. Listen,
No,
I've not said
wait.
Palmer's world. Have I said Palmer's world class? I've
You
not
said
been.
he's
world class.
No, but you
he's
said
not.
you can't.
No,
be
I
world
said.
class
So I've
until
never
you
said
win
that.
He's definitely not world class.
But Bellingham was key to Madrid winning trophies.
Yeah.
Let's not pretend.
Bellingham,
that Bellingham
no.
wasn't
But the thing is, yeah, no.
Very
Well, just because no,
Yeah, but that's one trophy, Hooks. One trophy. We're talking about
you can't-
consistency.
bro,
one trophy.
being the best player, yeah, listen, being the best player is a number of factors. Yes, winning a trophy can be a big part of it, but there's also other things, bro. How important are you to the team? How much have you contributed, yeah, in terms of levels, goals scored, goals assisted, play action itself, yeah, as well. So again, when I'm looking at best player, I'm not just looking at just.
So why did he win it over Foden then? Because Foden had a better season than Palmer last season.
Not scoring and assistant wise. Palmer scored him and assisted him.
Okay, so now we go back to facts.
He's good.
But that's why.
He's
No, he's not. He's not. He hasn't
But
got to be there
then
because I already said to him.
So new toy syndrome, isn't it?
As I said, because I told you Hooks already. I said that's a factor, but it's not the whole thing. It's not the whole thing, bro.
It's weird.
Again, it's not. Listen, I said trophy is part of it, but it's not the whole thing. You're just making that part trophy the whole thing. I'm saying, listen. He scored, he assisted. Yes, he got to a final and didn't win that trophy against Liverpool in the Carabao Cup final. That's the game. But again, as a whole, Foden, what was it called? Palmer was the better player than him. That's all it is.
Wait. England's best player. You're not supposed to do good for England. Isn't that what you're supposed to do?
Yeah, for England.
But he didn't
when
play
he came on
games. He didn't play
but again,
games.
when he came for England, he was doing what he needed to do. He even scored an equalizer for them in the final.
Even Gordon looked good.
He even assisted in the. He also assisted in the semi-final for the goal that Watkins scored as well. So what are we saying?
Wow.
But when Saka plays the 5-yard pass, it's not an assist, bro. I'm sorry, yeah.
Again, listen. I feel like Crooks is bringing Twitter arguments. I'm not saying anything about that.
Ahmed doesn't do that, but Chelsea fans do that. Cole Palmer played a 5-yard pass to Nani Madueke. Nani Madueke made an amazing goal out of nothing, and he gets the assist, right? But Saka does that.
Listen again, boys. Listen again. You're bringing two arguments here. At the end of the day, bro, assist is assist, bro. You know what I mean? That's like me talking about Sancho. Like, Sancho's passing 5 yards, he's getting an assist. At the end of the day, that still counts an assist, bro. Sergio Busquets might have just passed to Messi, but Messi's doing all the crazy stuff.
Yeah,
but at the end of the day, it's still an assist from Sergio
Bruno
Busquets.
used to just pass. So you used to make mistakes.
All right, yo, 1 second. Before Patrick leaves.
Come on, boys. You know what I mean?
1 second. Before Patrick leaves, everyone, the links to everyone's channels are in the description. And by the way, I just want to show you guys, Hooks and Patrick were having a back and forth earlier in the day, right? And Hooks, this is your time to speak about it. So Patrick basically said, what has Saka won for his club? I said to Patrick, what is this insecurity, right? And this is what started this whole thing, this whole debate and everything, because people have been speaking about Palmer, people have been speaking about Saka, and this is where it started. So I basically said, let me start from the beginning. I said we can no longer call Phil Foden world class, blah, 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 speaking about the fact that he's not performing for club and country, right? People can call me a hypocrite for that with Vinicius Jr. and all these other players. I hear that. But then he goes straight to Saka. I said, bro, your insecurity is showing. Nobody mentioned Saka or any Arsenal players. He said, stop with the agenda with Foden. He's like, and then Hooks comes out of nowhere. And starts speaking about, oh, you're bringing Saka into it. And then he's like, honestly, I bring two players, both sides, focus on bringing them down. And then he starts saying stuff like, oh, so why do you talk about Arsenal when the topic's about Foden, right? Mentioning Saka. He's like, I don't mention him, basically doing the meme. And I'm like, bro, here am I trying to instigate, saying, yo, 5 hours ago, he did the exact same thing that he was saying he doesn't do. And now we're here on the stream. So what causes these kind of interactions? Is it a situation where you just think Saka's getting hated on, or do you think he's not on the same level as Foden? Hooks, what really gets you triggered by this?
I mean, I'm not triggered by it. It's just that for some reason, whenever Arsenal fans specifically try and talk about another team, immediately, oh, what about Saka? Oh, what's Saka doing? Oh, where's your UCL? Oh, where's your major in the last 20 years? But they never talk about the topic at hand. They always want to bring up irrelevant things. It's like Arsenal fans can't chime in on discussions because, I don't know, Saka's not won a UCL or Arsenal's not won a UCL, and it's mad weird. Like, so yeah, I just want people to just stay on topic when you get me. Like, and I mean, we all watched that England game. Not only did Foden have a reality splitting stinker, yeah, bro, Cole Palmer was right up there as well, you know, in terms of stinkers, bro. I watched this guy, Mr. Sitter, and look, he's dipping now because he knows about his boy.
I can rebuttal that, by the way.
No, sadly, I have to go out. You know what I mean? I've got to go out with someone, so sadly, we chat, boys.
Absolutely.
Yo, enjoy your night. Enjoy your night.
I can actually rebuttal that. Can I rebuttal that?
Go ahead.
You're talking about, yeah.
I have to go too.
Oh, later, Patrick.
Everyone's there. Oh,
no, I have to go somewhere at 9.
I'm joking. I'm only messing.
No, continue.
You're talking about Palmer. He came on, bro. But last time I checked, one of the worst players that played in the Euros was Declan Rice. He was one of the worst players in that midfield. Probably, arguably the worst one. And Declan Rice hasn't been great this season. So we can talk about this and that, yeah. But no one's talking about how shit Declan Rice has been. So
but you're proving my point.
I think Declan Rice has been like.
You're proving my point.
I think Declan Rice has been a C or a C.
But you just proved my point. You actually just proved my point because we're talking about Palmer and Foden, and you're talking about Rice.
No, but you have to apply. No, because you're only mentioning. I'll tell you what. You're only mentioning
Rice. And if I didn't support Arsenal, you wouldn't be bringing up Rice.
No, but you're mentioning two. I have no affiliation to Foden and. I have no affiliation with Foden and Palmer. But what I'm saying
but you just proved my point without.
No, not really, because if you're going to talk
his
about.
His point is there's an Arsenal agenda.
No, it's not an Arsenal agenda.
Proved my point, bro.
Hooks, it would work if it was me or Patrick talking, but Ahmed has no. He has
no. But it doesn't matter who you support. What I'm saying is when an Arsenal fan talks on topics, yeah.
Okay, we can talk on topics without agendas.
They go off topic and mention the Arsenal player.
What's the topic you want to talk
about? What does Rice have to do with Palmer and Foden having stinkers? Well, I don't understand.
Okay. Did you not say that Palmer wasn't great, and did you not say that Foden
yesterday?
Wasn't
he wasn't.
Yesterday, right? You can say that. You have the right to say that, and you can have your opinion, and I respect that. But in that same sentence, you also have to keep the same energy with other players. You can't pick and choose because Rice wasn't great as well. He hasn't been for quite a while. So I'm not picking just because it's Arsenal. You have to choose. You have to keep it consistent.
Okay, but you could have said Trent. Why did you mention the Arsenal player?
You can mention Trent as well, but that's not the point that I'm talking about, though.
I'm just curious. Why did you?
A lot of England players didn't play well.
And you know what? Yeah, and
we can talk about Harry Kane as well. We just have
Rice has 3 GA in his last 15 England.
Oh, GA? Are you having a laugh?
Foden has none. But now you say that. But then when we talk about Palmer's GA. Do you see what I'm?
I don't mention GA. I don't. I feel like with you've spent. Like, I don't care. Look, let me tell you something. This is the first interaction.
Okay. So Rice had a bad Euros, but what about last season for Arsenal?
He wasn't that great.
What?
I don't think he was that great.
Okay, say no more. I see the agenda. It's fine.
It's not an agenda. I'm going to break it down to you.
I don't mind.
I'm going to break it down to you. I'm going to break it down. Declan Rice, for the money that you've paid for him, right? The money that you've paid, and for how much you guys, talk about he's world class. First of all, he's not even a CDM.
No one said he's world class, by the way. But
no. Okay. You all right? That's fine. He's not an exceptional player, and he's not that great. And I'll tell you why he's not that great. Every time you've watched the Euros, next to Kobe Mainoo, you've watched him next to Kobe Mainoo, and he's not a young player, Declan Rice. He's an established player who's in his 26, 20. He's 25, 26, so he ain't no youngster, right? He has been poor, and you're using GA when GA has nothing.
No. I'm not using GA. I'm not using.
Talk about performances. His passing's not particularly great. Yeah, under pressure when he gets pressed, he's not got that press resistance about him to get himself out of trouble. His passing, his forward passing's not. He doesn't really break lines. He's got a decent strike on him. He's got a good engine. That's it. He's just a good runner, and he covers ground.
He's very amazing at reading the game.
He's not amazing.
His interceptions show that.
Defensively.
He's very good at screening the back line. He's very good at challenges. He's very good at breaking up play. Like, I feel like people like to pick and choose when it comes to Declan Rice. Like,
Declan's very good defensively.
Like,
he is.
You do realize Arsenal, had the best defense last season.
But that's because of your system.
Numbers
Not,
dictate
you
that.
defend
No,
as a
but
team, by the way.
who is sitting in front of the defense, bro?
You defend as a team,
Look
though.
because you can look at the season before Declan Rice. We had similar defenders. We was nowhere
Okay.
near. We was
Okay.
nowhere
All right, guys, we've diverted so far. Can we bring it back? Hooks, who you starting, who you sitting, who you benching?
starting Saka, benching Palmer, and selling Foden. It's
Wow.
just that simple.
Okay.
Saka's been the most consistent right winger. I actually not. First of all, I don't even think that we should. I don't think that they should be compared because for me, Palmer and Foden are 10s, and Saka's not a 10. So why Saka's even in the conversation for me is a bit weird. But
Okay, so who out of Palmer and Foden, who you keeping?
Palmer. I'd keep Palmer personally because he's on the upward trajectory, and I feel like Palmer can play in a variety of different scenarios where I feel as Foden only really thrives under Pep.
What about the fact that they both played for Pep?
Palmer didn't really play for Pep though. Like he didn't really play.
He was literally there.
Didn't really play though. Like I mean, if we're doing like if we look at the minutes played, he didn't really play. Like in no disrespect, he played a bit, but come on, he didn't really play. Like, do you know what I mean? Like the game time he's got at Chelsea in comparison to what he had in his lifetime.
Yeah, that's why he left.
It's exactly. So what I'm saying is not.
But he did play. He just didn't
Let
play.
Vader say he's playing.
If it's international, I'm starting Saka all day long. I'm having Palmer on the bench, and I'm selling Foden if it's international. If it's team wise, I need versatility, and unfortunately, I haven't seen it from Saka. So the way things in form right now, I'm gonna start Palmer, I'm gonna bench Foden, and I'm gonna sell Saka because Saka can only play on that. His versatility is only on that right-hand side. Since he's come through this league, since he got his starting job from left back, he's never touched it since. So all he does is play on the right
left
wing.
back for England.
I said club. I said club. First, I addressed internationally, and I gave you your props. I said I'm starting Saka.
Okay, he's played 10 for Arsenal.
I said
he's played 10 for Arsenal. He's played left wing for Arsenal, and he's played right wing for Arsenal.
He's played 10 for Arsenal. How many times? Like once.
Yeah, but he's played. You said versatility. He's played it.
No, but doing it once, like you said, it's not enough. It's not showing a versatility. So I've seen Foden across the front three. I've seen Cole Palmer across. Well, has he played false nine? No, but I've seen Palmer play the 10, play right wing, left wing. Let's be real, guys. Saka is on the right wing for you guys. So when I'm talking
you're punishing Saka because he's the best.
I'm not punishing him. No, I'm not punishing him, but I need to see more because I've seen the other two players play right wing very effectively as well.
Doesn't make sense. That's like me saying, "Oh, I'm not going to take Kane in my team because I haven't seen him play centre mid." Was that?
No, if we're talking striker, I'm not looking for a striker to play centre mid, but we're talking about forward players.
Saka's the right winger. I'm not looking for him to play left back.
Saka doesn't do enough to say he trumps on that right wing over Foden or Palmer.
Pardon?
No.
Do you know what? Cool, whatever. Fine.
So you guys all gave your list. You all gave your list. I didn't come off mute. I'll let you have your point of view. I'm telling you, and I'm just giving the point that versatility-wise, I don't see enough of it at Arsenal. And granted, maybe he's got that locked. He's got that specialty. He's not messing around. All right. Arteta said, "You're on that right wing. I'm not moving you due to injuries. I'm not even changing a thing. You stay over there." Now, I have seen managers move Cole Palmer as well as Foden for the betterment of the team in different positions, and they've been effective as well. If I'm building a team, I want versatility. Hold on, Egal. If I'm building a team, I want that versatility.
Arsenal fans are proper sensitive, man.
Yeah, they don't like that. They don't like it.
Well, one second. If you're saying this, what is Ahmed gonna say?
I'll tell you what I'm gonna say. I'm just gonna wait for. Sorry, I don't know what you're
in form right now. I said form. I'm starting Palmer.
Foden has never really been good on. Wait, Foden has actually never been good on the right wing. Foden's never been good on the right wing.
Bro, Foden played majority of the season last year as a right winger.
Foden's not good on the right wing, bro. Foden's actually not good on the wings. The fact
Foden is most effective
put out onto the wings.
Okay, but how good is Saka in the middle of the pitch if we're going to be doing this?
But I'm saying. But remember,
Saka's the inside forward. He occupies the inside right channel.
Yes. So when Foden does that and he's partnered up with Haaland, you see him putting up crazy numbers.
But
You see
Foden is a 10, bro. And the fact that he has played on the wings is not because he's good there. It's because
Yes,
Pep
it is.
has not trusted him to play in the 10, bro.
No,
This is
But
the
you want to know
so can't
something?
do versatility because
No,
he's
it's
been
not.
moved because he's not been good enough, bro. Hello?
no, it's not. It's
That's
not
what
Hello.
because
other players
What's
in the
going on,
team, bro.
Adele? How you doing?
it's not because he hasn't been good enough. It's with regards to
Man said
managing.
Oh,
hello.
you're doing revisionism now. Okay,
It's not
say no.
revisionism.
I spoke
I-
to Man City fans last season, you know, and they were telling me this.
They were telling you what last season?
Bro, he gets moved out because he prefers to play other players in the 10, bro. He prefers to not play Foden centrally. We all saw this last
There's
season.
a reason,
bro.
but at the
Therefore,
same okay, so when you with your logic, if he's not good on the right wing and there's other players to play the right wing, why is Pep forcing him on the right wing?
because bro, are you not listening? Foden is a 10. Foden
No, yes,
is
but
a
you just
10.
finished saying
he's
he wasn't
playing
able to
on
make
the-
it into the 10.
But no, because Foden is a good player. And no one's disputing that. Foden is a good player.
Yes.
But Pep
Okay.
doesn't see him good enough to play centrally, which is where Foden wants to play. Hence why he gets pushed out onto the wings, because Pep thinks there's better players to play centrally. Hello, what are we not understanding? Whereas
No.
Saka,
Okay.
who
So
is a right winger,
right.
he's a right winger, always plays on the right wing, whether it's club or country, because there is nobody better for England or Arsenal to play right
well,
wing.
your Uncle Righty
But now
disagreed
you're
because he was
punishing
trying to
him for it.
move him out of that position for
Yeah,
the sake of the team.
and where did
So let me
where did
knock.
we get
Hold on,
Uncle
Eval.
Riley?
No. You let Hooks go. So let me knock and say hello. What's not understanding here? Foden gets moved because of his quality for the better sake of the 11. So Pep can trust the player to play centrally as well as the wing. Your manager, if we want to spin and talk this way, your manager does not move him. Does not move Saka from that right wing. He doesn't seem to be able to get better output from other players, maybe occupying the right wing and putting Saka's talent centrally. You know why? Because he can't
He's a
play
right
there.
winger. What?
So when I point out, I want
understanding?
versatility. So when I point out, I want
God,
versatility,
man.
Hooks.
Oh my
When I
God.
point
Let me
out,
tell you
I
something
want
here about
versatility,
wingers, yeah.
Hooks. Understand what
Oh
I'm
my
saying.
God.
So
When
guys,
Pep, when
I'm
Pep
trying to get
chooses,
this.
one second, last thing. When Pep
Yeah.
chooses to play in Champions League versus the likes of a PSG or a Real Madrid, and he has Foden on that pitch, and he's not playing centrally, it's because of the quality that we want, right? When KDB gets subbed off, who's the first man on in a Champions League game? Foden.
But
I
you
want
could argue, why
versatility.
isn't he starting?
Because we have a wealth of quality, which you guys keep wanting. You guys keep bawling out, crying to your owners, we need backup for Saka. If he had
No, the
someone to
only
compete
reason why
for the
we're
role,
crying is because we're not winning the same level of trophies as you guys.
no, you're crying because you also don't have someone competing for his role to make sure that you have quality for quality. We have that.
All
So
right, fair
Pep can
enough.
have rotation.
But we
which is
also
what
have
you
to
guys
deal
want.
with we also have to deal with a mental illness, which is called Arsenal hate.
Oh
There's
my
no
days.
mental illness with Arsenal hate. What's
Let's
going
not
on?
do this victim mentality,
Bro,
man.
people hate Arsenal to the point where it's an illness.
No.
It's actually mad. Like, you know what?
It's not,
You know
man.
what?
Bro,
Let
we
me-
had
I
Paddy
already know what the
Power.
United fans gonna
Bro,
do, but let me
last
know.
night we had Paddy Power tweet out Saka limping off when his team's losing needs to be studied.
But
Okay.
we don't hate Arsenal.
No.
When
But
did you
you
ever
guys
say
are
that
victimized.
about
It's all in our
India?
minds.
don't
It's
do
all
You
in
that.
our
guys are
minds.
you guys are
He hasn't
victimizing
been
us.
limping off the
You're
pitch, though. You
victimizing
have,
us.
All right,
you're
you know
acting
what?
like he hasn't been limping.
Hooks,
We
we're,
fabricate,
this
we
is let's allow it. We'll have a
we
conversation.
fabricate.
about this
Wait.
next-
No, don't do the. Oh, we Arsenal fans will talk about this later. Are you guys trying to act like Saka doesn't limp?
No, we're talking about it as in this is a professional account making jokes about a player's injury.
Bro, I've seen many of players limp.
People are
off
monetizing
Did you not?
Arsenal.
Yeah, but
hate.
also I don't. Wait, what's your name, by the way? Just to
Hooks.
Hooks. If we're gonna use Twitter arguments, to back our argument, if we're gonna use Twitter experience here just to back our arguments, I can play this game as well. There were some Arsenal fans celebrating the Rodri injury. We can all do this, So this is why, when we make
Man City fans celebrating the Odegaard injury. So
you just proved my point. Goes both ways, which is why, when we use Twitter,
you look at volume. So you have to look at volume, and I'm not just talking about Twitter, because you can look at what pundits say when they go on shows. You can even you could even go can even go back to when Arsenal was challenging for the league, not last season, the season before, the way that everybody was talking about Arsenal. You can even see it in the fact
They
that
were praising you
when an
guys.
Arsenal
The
fan-
only reason why, look, Saka, yeah, he gets enough rated. He's fairly rated, yeah. If anything, yeah, he's fairly rated by everyone. He doesn't get hate like that, yeah. Only from internationally. Internationally, yeah, all the players get hated, especially the black ones. We know why, because this country is, yeah, racist. We know this. If I'm talking about on a club level, yeah, he doesn't get hate like that. Liverpool fans love him. I've spoken to loads of Liverpool fans. They love Saka. Saka is fairly rated, yeah. The reason why people are on Saka, yeah, is because Arsenal fans in general, when it comes to rating a player, they go over the top. When you start calling someone the best in his position and the best this and he's the best that and world class this and world class that, there comes a time here when he doesn't do well. Yeah, he's not that great. He's not world class. He's not got world class ability. You guys just do it too much with players.
You could apply that to anybody. You could apply
Not
that to
really, because players like not really because
you could apply that to anyone, bro.
there are other wingers in his position that are much better than Saka.
Who?
Rodrigo's better than Saka. Vinny's
No,
better than
he
Saka.
is not, bro.
Yes, he is. Yes,
No,
he is. Elise's better than Saka.
By what metric? By what metric is Rodrigo better than
Rodrigo
Saka?
is a much better footballer. The way he receives the ball, the way he drives at players, the way he dribbles past players, his decision
You guys
making,
think Saka-
everything
you think
about it.
Saka's better than
He's
Salah?
Rodrigo is a world class. He's a world class talent, yeah.
No,
And Saka doesn't have that talent. I'm sorry, yeah, but Saka is just a good player. He's not got world class ability. I'm not just
the only right winger that has outperformed Saka in the last 4 years is Salah.
I think people are confusing ability with like aesthetics.
Exactly.
just
Yeah,
the mechanics,
It's not
fact,
FIFA Street, though. It's not. It's not.
Nobody
I'm not
cares
talking
about
about
the
FIFA Street.
thing, man.
I've just
you're
broke it
talking
down.
about- bro.
Go on, guys.
He is-
His
You man like vanity.
efficiency and his mechanics are so good that you
Ah,
don't necessarily
okay,
need
bro.
to have all this other stuff. But one second, we now know
Yeah, I
you're
say
going
the
to
same
sell
thing about
Saka.
Holland.
I just want to know, who are you going to start? Because you're going to sell
Me.
Saka. You're going to sell Saka.
I'm gonna start Palmer, yeah, bench Foden and sell Saka, yeah.
Fair enough.
did I
We
guess?
got there in the end.
How did I
Guys, I got to wrap it up. We literally been going for an hour and 20 minutes. I think this has been a great show. International break. We found a topic that you guys are really interested in. And even Vader was really into it after the second half when he eventually got triggered. But yeah, guys, this is international break. We're not going to do a video on Sunday. Sunday, I'm going to be on Hussam's channel. But check out the guys' content. Ahmed's always doing stuff on TikTok. Hooks is always doing shorts on YouTube. We got my man here, 115. He's always doing the Chronicles every single day until they get charged or they get freed, one or the other. But yeah, we're going to wrap it up here. You guys have yourselves a wonderful day. I'll catch you guys on the next one. And please do subscribe. We are so close to 30K subscribers. I would love for you guys to get me that tomorrow if possible. But I'm out of here, people. Catch you guys on the next one. Love for the love, and we're out. Oh, wait, 1 second. Is there a super chat? Big up. Are you from Ethiopia? Like and subscribe, people. I am Somali, my brother, but my family lived in Ethiopia, but I'm Somali, my brother. Anyways, I'm out of here. Peace out.